Now, after that, send that well. Now, explain something for a minute. Accident to my right eye, I was about 20 years old, so I cannot see your faces. So if you meet me on the street and you hear me and I don't hear you, I'm not, I didn't see you. And tonight, I see you. And so I have my right of it. The impact of what we do should stay with you enough to get by the day. Now, good evening. I'm Marlene Brown. It's a pleasure to have you share a bit of us. I thank the Historical Society on the President for giving us this opportunity. Tonight, we will convey to you for real life as it was in general and what life in particular. To do this, I will explain history is all about living. It is not just things that happens each generation, like you, have existed, having their turn become history according to the strength of the impact that they had in the world and they were written about, but their history that should have been. Every one of you this evening, ancestors who left something to write about. No matter the reason that it happened, it's hard. We can learn from it. It can be learned in a pleasant and even amusing way. There are many facets to it. There are people in history who have done things. A case in point is Cleopatra VII, who, according to history, was really Cleopatra VI. Because of her fame or notoriety, according to how you look at it, she is simply known as Cleopatra. However, Cleopatras, Berenices, Herods, Pharaohs, Caesars, Candaces, as in Queen of the Ethiopians, were all titles. Cleopatra was of the line of the Ptolemies, who were a Macedonian aristocracy. The first Ptolemy was Alexander the Great's general, who took when Alexander died. So although Cleopatra was born in and ruled over Egypt, which is a black Egyptian nation, she was not a black Egyptian woman, but a white Greek aristocrat. The Ptolemies, among other things, decided to adopt the incestuous practice of sibling marriage from the Egyptians. They would marry a sibling, then after being ensconced as joint rulers, would usually attempt to annihilate each other. There were about 15 family marriages through the years, 10 of which were not half but full brother-sister marriages. If one's parents were full siblings, then one would only have one set of grandparents. The married couple would also be uncle and aunt. The royal women of Ptolemy's line were the Cleopatras, Berenices, and Arsinoes, and these portrayed to perfection the characteristics of a black widow spider to husbands, fathers, brothers, and sons. Cleopatra's great-grandmother fought one civil war against her parents and the second one against her sons. Berenice II's mother went poaching for Berenice's husband with his acquiescence. Berenice took umbrage and cancelled his existence. Cleopatra III was niece, then wife, of Ptolemy VIII. Ptolemy was married to her mother, who was also his sister. And while Cleopatra III was still a little girl, he raped her. The mother then quarreled with him, so he retaliated by chopping their 14-year-old son to pieces and delivering them in a chest to his wife on the eve of her birthday at the palace gates. Until her death, Bear with me. Quick. She fixed his business by displaying the pieces to the public. Those Alexandrians didn't take it too well. About 10 years later, Ptolemy, who in the meantime had married the daughter, who was also his niece, his wife's daughter, who he had raped, made up with her mother, and for 8 more years he ruled with 2 queens, mother and daughter, and they warred with each other straight through. That's history. In my writings, I too will cover, among other things, incest, religion, witchcraft, salvation, etc. It happened. About 3/4 of the stories will involve my forebears on all sides, as far as possible, leading up to their connections in and with Fox Hill. Many of these stories were passed on to me by my parents, grandparents, great-grand, and even my great-great-great-grandmother, Harriet Blatch, who was an ex-slave. She lived in the same house with my mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother until her death in 1935 at the age of 121. Stories have also been garnered from many of the old people from Fox Hill and other places in the Bahamas, the majority of whom are now dead. Therefore, I have stories, so to speak, straight from the horse's mouths. Names, of course, will be changed when necessary. Now, concerning the questions, if I know the answer and if it doesn't encroach on anyone's privacy, I'll answer. If not, in plain Bahamian English, I'll say I know. This skit will take the form of what is known as a reading. Sit back now and relax and enjoy. Okay? Welcome. Now this is about, now y'all know what Bahamians go. This is about a lady, everything is true. This is about a lady who, come. This is about a lady who got converted, but she had this sweetheart, you see, and she didn't want to let go of him, she didn't want to let go of God. Well, one had to win. Somebody did. Now let's see who.